Let's hear this guy's testimony, shall we? Although it's not my normal day, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Duty, not day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So, the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you! That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir! Maybe he should have hit you a little harder. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Okay. Okay, so he was assigned to guard the evidence room. Let's press that. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Well, that might explain a few things. Yeah, yikes! Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were giving special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir! The lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir! Apparently that's lovely. And I'm still trying to see the badger aspect. It looks more like a jester to me. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. Yet, it looks like it was broken. See? That was my sole mission for the day, sir! I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? A suspicious man on the security screen. In order to enter the evidence room, you'd need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir! I have one right here around my neck! So then, your ID number should be listed in here, right? So we have Goodman and Edgeworth, so which one is Meekins? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 4989596. That's my number, sir! I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. So he went there once at 4:50 and then again at the time of the crime. Well, he's telling us about the time of the crime, but what the hell was he doing there earlier? Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time, then? Yes, sir. That's when I spotted this man on the security screen. So now we have more data on that. So the only one we're missing is whoever went in there first. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. So you just started flailing wildly. That sounds about right. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. Fought for my life, then I did it. Uh-huh. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. He must have been desperate. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Honestly, I'm still going with the flailing wildly, and then he cut his hand and saw the blood and fainted. That's my guess. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. Okay, so I was, well... Yeah, okay, so he didn't pass out from seeing his blood. He got knocked the F out. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. Or, I mean, it's nice that you're recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? He had a mission? Who'd give this guy a mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. Yeah, really, the Blue Badger made it home safely. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yeah, he does. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Yeah, that's a bit strange. Why give him the evidence? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. No, it's Edgeworth being screwed again. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? Careful, it could be porn. For all we know, the idiot recorded over it. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the DS emulator is gonna... Yeah, it's slowing down here. It can't handle it. At least not on my computer, but we can still see what's going on. So there he is. And there's the guy in the coat as something fell out of the thing. There goes Meekin. Guy slices Meekin. He grabs him. Decks him. I bet you the son of a bitch is gonna leave. Or he just disappears. What in the hell did we just see? Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within it? Stirred... What the hell was that wiggling piece of plywood? Oh, Edgeworth, I love you. Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? So now we got the security video. Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that what the witness said did indeed encounter, or someone, in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness' testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! So who told him to take the fall for this? Alright. So now he's gonna testify in the Mystery Man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective is given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Alright, let's find some contradictions then. Yeah, we know that. Okay. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. And only you can prevent forest fires. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing... or... Meekins! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I mean, he opened the locker which required his fingerprint. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir! I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he tried. My guess is a butter knife, credit card, stethoscope, a lockpick maybe? I don't know. Anyway, if the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to, unless someone else had his fingerprints. Exactly my point, sir! And this too. Locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. Why am I repeating that? I already read it. Whatever. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. So he's up to date on the latest gossip. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Wait, what? Romantic troubles? For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Okay. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify to this, enough to this, sir. Hey, wait a minute. Well, no, I don't think that would work. Yes, you have a point. The footage didn't lie. But no, I was thinking we might be able to fingerprint the knife, but since he handled it in the past, seeing as how he was the head detective, I'm sure his prints would naturally be on it, so that wouldn't do anything. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it? Mr. Wright, let's check the record again. Is there a problem with the video? I think there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Also, as far as Meekins becoming an officer, he said he's good at following orders, and sometimes that's all they want. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Alright, we're going to speed this up. There. That's the contradiction. If you remember, we didn't find any damn paper when the locker was opened. Or anywhere in there. So what the heck is this piece of paper that fell out of the locker when he opened it? The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh yeah. Phew. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir! Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do? Let's play the video again. Very well. Let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Like you're doing right now. But he's the one pointing his finger. Exactly, Emma. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show the contradiction. Okay, here we go again. That's weird. I was sure it was that damn thing. That comes into play later, I'm pretty sure. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Wait a minute. Wait. No, wasn't there a damn... Didn't I have a photo of... I thought I had a photo of the murder. I mean, there's this, but that doesn't help. That's the evidence for plans. There goes Meekins. That. I think I got it. I think you gotta select the blood stain on his shoulder, because if you remember, there was no blood on his coat, despite being friggin' stabbed. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through, hmm? Well, there's no point in cross-examining again. Sorry for subjecting you all to this music again. Okay, sorry about that. Had to switch microphones with Corn Check. He's got to do his own stuff too. Alright, let me unpause this actually. Here we go. So, now the contradiction we're looking for. I had a few minutes to think as I was switching. We're going to fast forward here. Now remember what Gumshoe told us. The locker was already open. So as Goodman is walking up, notice the light is lit. Hold on, back it up a little bit. Damn it. That means the locker was already open. There we go. Which means it's possible, and which means if it was already open, anybody could open it. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Also, I apologize if you hear wires moving or something like that. I'm using the other mic, which picks up everything because it's a really good mic. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? Is there anyone else named Meekins? Excuse me. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. The light is already on. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. There, notice the light? Or here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Court judge. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. In other words, he has no friggin' clue. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system. Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Now we get to the thing I pointed at the first time. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Alright, now we're going to fast forward over to where he's opening it, and we're going to... Oh, back up. There we go. That. No! That was good. Stupid, I hit the wrong button. There we go.
Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Oh good, they killed the music on the thing, which allows it to run at the right speed. Hooray! What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. God, what an idiot. We can't be sure that item was in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. What? 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my control vehicle, sir. God, what a klutz. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. What did we find at the crime scene that could have been used for that? Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? The only thing that we found that could possibly be used to jam the locker door was the vase. No, it was the rubber glove.
Take that!
I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamps attest to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear that way, sir! It appears so! Order! 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 So are we to believe, then, that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Objection!
Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. See, now he's going to bring up the ID card thing. Like it or not, Goodman's ID card was used to open that damn door and get into the evidence locker. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. As Edgeworth is going to kill himself. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Sometimes I wonder, Nick. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man, Part 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. There you go. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? It's actually a really good question. This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. Yeah, really, he's already got spiked hair. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right. I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Alright, here we go. Time to press. Yeah, we know that. Let's press this. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir! This card right next to my cuff, sir! I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you? Keeping it out in the open like that. Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck in the car door when I get out? Well, the remaining time my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chose me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Well, yeah, we have the record. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness was referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the Inquiry Committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime... Yeah. Earlier, I believe, you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he would just panic. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Alright. Well, let's press this one too. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this will be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give you the V for victory sign, sir. You do that with your other hand. Exactly. Couldn't you just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out. The witness can't afford to make any more mistakes. Yeah, one must use their ID card. Right. Did he? Then how the hell did I find it? Objection! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be this ID card? ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. This should be good. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Wait, what? Crap, having mouse troubles. Bravo! Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I said at the start, where the hell did he go? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. Like you are. This isn't good. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Ms. Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! Well, shit. Kinda walk right into that one. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Well, we're gonna have to object. If we wait and see what happens, we're screwed. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yeah, all we see is them fighting, and then the camera pans away and the guy's gone. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, a large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then. Mr. Wright, this person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Well, we all know who it is. Bruce Goodman. No. Jake Marshall. Or wait, maybe it's Detective Gumshoe. No, Jake Marshall. Cormano. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? Can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. Alright, let's go to McDonald's and get a McFrappe shake. In the lobby. Hey, Lana. She's not too happy. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana. You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? She's obviously protecting someone. Or someone is using her and she's just afraid to... Either afraid or feels duty-bound to get up. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hey, Gumshoe. No, it's just a tender moment here. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Sorry, Gumshoe. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? Gumshoe again. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh. Good God, he's Santa Claus. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. So we finally get to hear the details of this damn case? The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Well, that's new. Everybody's involved in this damn case. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. That does make sense. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number of the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Darkey killings. The Joe Darkey. No, Lana, that's over with. No. Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth, not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Alright, before that happens, I'm reading these damn files. Filed for the Darkey killing solved 2 years ago. Touch the check button for details. Okay, incident number SL9. Criminal Joe Darkey, crime serial murder, sentence death. Victims Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeff Bates, Neil Marshall. Any relation to Jake Marshall, maybe? Trial date. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Investigation task force. executive investigators Damon Grant, Lana Sky, head investigator Bruce Goodman, with senior sub-investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Huh, actually, I think I remember this. The marshal that was killed, I believe, was, I think, Jake's younger brother who was dating Emma at the time. Lucky son of a bitch. I better take a good look at this file. I did already. To be continued. Okay. Back in the courtroom. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime, Cormano. They let him keep his flask on the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edward described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? Desperado's soul was as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony for the day of the crime. In English. Day of the crime, here we go. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the side street saloon when the time I went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so you're out of ammo. If you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. What the hell kind of testimony was that? I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses. Now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Day of the crime. Alright, let's start out by pressing. In other words, his job was to watch the damn evidence room. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. It said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you, that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. He's saying he doesn't like to do that, so no, he didn't make the rounds that day. Or at least not 3 times. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. Yeah, really. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? My guess is that big knife. Thank you, Facebook. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. I'm surprised they let him keep that knife on the witness stand. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. Really? That's quite, incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongole's sepia pasta. I think I said that right. At least I hope I did. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has taught you a lesson. At least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want a raise this year?" Innocent traveling man. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. You're not from Texas. Apparently, your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. But before I use it, though, I'd better amp the ante. Okay, yeah. I have... Whose number is all sevens, I wonder? I'm tempted to present that, but I'm not entirely sure. I really don't want to botch this. Let's see. No, it wasn't that. Well, we know he was there, but what does he want up? Alright, hell with it. I'm gonna throw his prints at it. Okay, it is there. See, he was Wright was misleading, but whatever. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Objection! I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the bloodstained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. This should be good. Bloodstained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? How did you know that? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Yeah, so can I. Now's my chance to prove it. Bloodstained fingerprints. Just happened to be there. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. That's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. By chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. Okay. You wanna know why? Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast and the other's a type of murder. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. No, I didn't know that. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. I can't let him squirm out of this one. I've got to find something. Something decisive to tie Marshall to this crime. Okay. I'm just going to leave it there, but I want to go over the evidence we have. We have a screwdriver, lost item report. I think this is it. There would be no reason, because, yeah, I think it's this, because there'd be no reason for him to touch the locker where it is. Nope, fuck. Crap. Now I'm confused. I think you have to present something on this one. I just don't know what. Okay, let's look at what we got. The screwdriver. Evidence from a past case that I've heard. The lost item report. The evidence room floor plans. Rubber glove. A locker. Jar. The handprint. And then the video.